This LEGO Star Wars set 75401, Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor. It's a LEGO Star Wars themed set with a total of 290 pieces and is rated 8 and up. But you know, the first original retail price is $45. Yep, 45 freaking dollars. I did not pay that price. No thank you. I paid, I think, $35 for this one, which is honestly somewhat decently better. I think the set should be about $30 considering it's 290 pieces and technically 2 minifigs and a droid. But you know, that LEGO Star Wars sales tax is crazy. At the front of the box here, you can see that's a very cool design for the Interceptor, showing it off in battle mode, which is kind of cool. Some blaster bullets going by, a planet in the background. It works. Looking at the back of the box here, you can see that the Interceptor is landed on a planet. I actually completely forgot what planet this is. I'm assuming it's the one from the Ashoka show that we see in the flashbacks back to the Clone Wars, but I could also be wrong. I also have the very annoying thumbtacks on the side of the box. Other than that, you can see our figures in action. Looks cool. Play features are on the bottom. Although it is overpriced, at least the fig lineup seems to be quite nice of Ahsoka Tano, Anakin Skywalker, and R7A7. Putting up our box here, I was unsurprised to see our very bland and basic instruction manual design. Not much going on there. A pretty decently sized sticker sheet. This one, at least, it actually makes sense on why at least majority of those are stickers. The control panel, not so much, but the wings, that one I can at least get as much nice as it would be to get printed. I was surprised to see, not just because there was 3 bags, but because there was 3 paper bags. This is one of the few sets I've already gotten to have a paper bag, so it's kind of a nice surprise to see that they're actually going to the word and expanding the paper bags. But as amazing as this box art is, let's find out if the set is just as good. Everything that's included in the set is Ahsoka's Editor 2 class Jedi Interceptor, along with 3 new minifigures. Our first figure here, we have a very much needed updated figure of Padawan Ahsoka Tano. Now, first impressions, I'd say this figure is pretty good. She has a new Leku with a new print, which looks great. She has a new face print, and which is double-sided, by the way, so we'll see that momentarily. Her torso is also new with the dark maroon color, which is nice. Both the legs and then have that. You got a little brown in the middle, representing the waist and stuff, so that's cool. The newest thing about this, though, is the short legs, the short folded legs, which is definitely new. And I'd say it looks a little awkward. It is Lego form, so it's hard to get that one-to-one type of scale with like the legs and the torso. But overall, I'd say it gets the idea, it gets the job done. It kind of gets her shorter height as she is a Padawan and still technically a kid, so I feel like it works in that sense. I know they do a lot for like the Harry Potter figures, so I guess using it in this manner also kind of ish makes sense. And even on the back of the figure, she has the open tank top, which I represented, along with a little bag in the back. It works. It looks good. It's very much more so simplistic. Also, what's included is her 2 green lightsabers. No, one's not shorter than the other. As cool as that would be. Next up, we have everyone's favorite Sky Guy. Jedi Master, not Master, Knight. Wait, is he even still a Knight at this point? Anakin Skywalker, who actually, if you look at the box, has a lighter hairpiece than the one that they used to advertise. Yay, Lego and its false advertising. Oh, it's just great. At least I swear it looks darker. To actually describe the figure's details and everything, the Jedi robes do actually extend down from the torso down to the legs. It's continued, especially you can see with the black markings, which is nice, very accurate. As you can see, the entire figure pretty much is that darker brown color. Moving to the back side of the figure, you can see the ropes are still there. No, then I go down to the legs because, well, back leg printing Lego doesn't really do. But at least you can still kind of see that the black is still there and continues on. So that's still nice. Overall, I'd say it's pretty much almost a perfect figure, besides maybe a few things. Looking at our third and final figure here, R7A7. Ahsoka's astromech droid, which has fought violently on multiple occasions. Honestly, just pretty much a great figure. Besides the fact it doesn't have back printing, which we've seen on some other D2s lately, but you know, this are only exclusive to some random sets for whatever reason. Instead of actually getting the best is good enough. But besides that, I mean, full 360 dome piece head print. Still can't turn the head or anything. You know, standard astromech droids. But the maroon color's nice and contrasts with the white and the lime green. Can't really complain. It's a nice astromech droid, especially for $45. Bro should have had some back printing. Another thing to mention about both the Anakin Skywalker and Ahsoka Tano minifigures is their heads, the actual head prints. Why does Anakin look so mean? I don't know. This is definitely probably taken away from the Ahsoka show. That's what I'm guessing. I know I said it a few times, but it's giving that look. And he looks very disappointed. He doesn't look like that cheerful sky guy that we kind of see. Ahsoka, though, on the other hand, yeah, her first face print, nice. She has a little smirk. It's very Ahsoka-like. However, Anakin does not look thrilled. Even on his other side, he looks definitely a little more on the angry side. Like his more quote-unquote battle face. So that's cool. That works. If the back of the Ahsoka, it's a little hard because of her thing, but she also has her battle face too. So she at least has a good mixture between the two. Anakin just looks mad the entire time. That might be one of the biggest downsides of the figure. But overall, both are still outstanding figures. For the most part. Alright, enough of the good figures. Now let's talk about this actual set. First impressions, I love it. I really like the color scheme. I really like the details it accurately represents, such as the wings with this design along with the, I don't know exactly what to call it, star pattern design that's actually brick built onto the actual wings. I like that. Color scheme, great. I like the hints of gray, and it's not black, but like I like the gray. Actually, it's kind of between dark gray and black, so I actually kind of like the gray. New cockpit. I have a few words about that one. But before I get into the actual cockpit, the actual overall look of the set, I really, really like. I'd say it looks pretty good. Maybe except for the cockpit, but like it doesn't look the worst though, so that's why I'm like okay with it. It's more actually function-wise, not a fan of it, even though technically this is actually inaccurate. This is actually kind of dumb. They had it right before. So why would you mess up something that's good and ruin it? LEGO is like the king of that. We know this on multiple occasions. Okay, let's talk about functionality. First, the cockpit. I will admit, I do like this kind of no gap here. This is actually very smooth. There's a gap there, but you know, besides that, there's some areas of no gaps. I'm kind of like, okay, cool. Now, if you're gonna go pick up the set, there's a few ways you can do it. I have my preference though. You can lift it by the wings. It's sturdy enough to do that. Previous models, maybe not so much. You kind of get from the back here. Also, it's kind of like that awkward, like you have to like turn your hand a weird way and do that. Okay, glad you could pick it up that way. My preference way that I've picked up all my other previous Jedi Interceptors, even though I only have two, is using the cockpit. I know it sounds a little weird, but I'll get my previous models and I'll show that in a second. But when I lift the cockpit, I go up and around here, and I lift. Oh, for this one. The one problem with this is that this cockpit piece is not attached down right there. As you can see, there's no place to attach it. It just rests there. It looks clean, I guess. However, when I usually go to lift it, because you can lift up this front part usually, and sometimes it breaks off, but like besides that, it still works most of the time. So when I go to lift this now, since there's no, unless I grab like this bottom part, which is just reaching my hand even further around, if I just lift it like that, it just, good thing this set's sturdy. Real quick to do a comparison of the different starfighters. Here we have Obi-Wan's Starfighter, I think 2016, and then Anakin's Jedi Interceptor from 2020. So not, it was 2025, so a little bit of a difference there, but I mean, it can't be that bad, right? The main reason why, though, is because I was talking about this cockpit. You just lift it here, and that immediately falls. Versus I think this is the weakest of the one. This is not my favorite. But either way, if I go to grab it, I grab it here and it's not going to immediately fall off. But this piece can fall off a little bit, but sometimes if you just look at that. It's so nice. I love that versus just having that. Also, these are way lighter than this is. Like, this definitely has a lot more compact bricks on it versus this is more. Actually has that thinness to it, which I do actually really like. But I don't mind that they come out. This is definitely way more sturdy. And also, this has the hinge things. They actually did a different technique, like they do with the actual Delta Jedi Starfighters. So this actually doesn't bend or anything, versus how both of these actually do. Oh my god, this is a little dusty there. And it's like that. You can see for 2020 Anakin's. This one's definitely a lot looser though. But same concept here. Lift like this, like that. You can see the underside details too are like way different. I definitely prefer the newer one with that part at least. But these are thinner looking, not as much detail, I guess. I mean, still somewhat very similar, but overall, I do like that. And then these also have gaps. These are more minimized gaps, but you know, still works. All three Starfighters, however, are great in their own way, but you know, I don't know what it changed. Like, look at the cockpit pieces are like almost perfect, and then they had to go and ruin it. So, whatever. But okay, I guess it. Wow, that's not really supposed to happen. Good to know. Be careful when you do that, by the way. First off, starting with the actual wings. The Eta class Starfighter is known for its very slim, slick wings. Same as the Delta. I mean, they're very thin. But LEGO has a tendency to beef them up a little bit instead of like skinny landing gear. Don't get me wrong, I really like the feature of being able to put the droid all the way in, which I guess I could just show you like this. And honestly, the droid's at a pretty good, decent height. I'm okay with that. Honestly, you can turn the head, but I'm not gonna do it right now. However, I mean, it does stick out a little bit. I didn't mind, you know, you just put the head there, whatever. But then this is like nice and slick. Yet again, doesn't really make sense in universe, so I guess this probably actually makes a little bit more sense. But you know, besides all that, still wish that these were thinner in some areas, I guess. But however, this set is extremely like, look at this. Like honestly, it's kind of remarkable on how sturdy it is. So it's kind of one of those takeaways I'm actually like okay with, and it looks nice. And although it's not as thin as it may be in universe and stuff, it works great. It's good for kids. It's actually sturdy, and it's not just gonna fall apart and break on you. Cool. Okay, obviously and thankfully that's not the only feature the set has. Obviously, every Jedi Interceptor also has the feature of the folding out wings. Sadly, it doesn't pop out or anything, but you know, manually works too. The best you can. I didn't see the other side. I should have paid more attention. Yeah, I'd say it still looks pretty good, just like that. You can see the stickers inside detailing. Very clean, very nice there. Probably should have got a stand to show this. Yeah, the wings work. They fold out perfectly. They're not like too messy. Obviously, when you land it, it's gonna collapse them, but you know, just close them shut. And the next feature, though, I guess besides like putting the figures inside, which we'll show momentarily, is the spring-loaded shooters that can be found in the back underneath the engines. Engines look nice, very nice pop of blue. But underneath it, if you can get your finger in there, you can just pull back, and voila, you can shoot both either side, and just as easy as that. Besides it being an absolute pain to actually pick up and all that fun jazz, let's talk about the set's swooshability. Like I said, the set is super duper sturdy. It's a nice and actual build, so it works very, very well. It's not going to break easily in a child's hand, and especially if you're holding it from the back, I'd say this thing can fly. You can swoosh it around, you can accidentally drop it, and it'd be a-okay. It's freaking awesome, dude. Sounds like opening the cockpit, shooting the missiles, and opening the wings. This set doesn't really have a ton of other features, other than just being a really cool ship. Now, you're probably going to want to put the figures inside the set. I mean, unless you want an automated flying ship, which I mean, yes, you can. Technically, droids can do that. So I'm actually going to turn my droid head and we're going to plop him right into place. It's nice and snug. His attachments are both on each side of his legs, not in the middle part, just so you're aware. It works. I mean, no real complaints there. And then to access the thing, you open this really easily accessible cockpit that should not be this shape in the first place. You open the cockpit, just like so. I'm actually going to raise this. I mean, it's a nice cockpit. It's not a printed piece on the windscreen. That one should be like the only printed piece in the set. I wish, because the wings make sense that they're stickers, but that should have just been printed. But whatever. So that's that. I mean, nice brown seat. There's comfortable seats. To get your actual figures inside. Fold the legs. Ahsoka still fits in a normal spot. Just like so. Put her arms down. Close the cockpit. I mean, she looks great in there. It works. And yes, just so you are aware, it is all 4 studs on the bottom, by the way, which is a little different. I was expecting like a different stud, but it's not. So I'm going to put Sky Guy in here too. Even though it's not his ship, he still loves to fly. I'm going to close that on him. It does fit him too, thankfully, and not just the smaller Ahsoka. I'm glad. Otherwise, we would have had some issues. Next up, you're going to notice that, well, once you put the figure inside, they can't hold their lightsabers inside the cockpit. That might be a little dangerous, and you don't want to lose the lightsabers. So thankfully, LEGO has actually done these in the past sets. They're actually nice. This one's kind of in a weird, different spot though than I would have expected, but it works. So obviously, you're going to want to put your lightsabers somewhere and not lose them, right? Well, there's little clips on each side of the wings where you can just plop it in there. I put mine this way. I mean, you can put it the other way too to make it look like a blaster bolt, but I'm okay with this way. It makes sense to be holding the handle to me. So there you go. And you can do the exact same on the other side. Obviously, you could probably put Anakin's there too if he was inside the ship, but since he's not inside the ship, he doesn't need to do that. Actually, one last thing that I completely forgot to mention. The new cockpit printed piece, for some reason, has a hole in the middle of it. Which means whoever is flying, especially in space, is just gonna die. Yay! Why does it have a hole? Because now to actually say my overall thoughts, price aside of like how awful the actual price is for this set, I would give it, honestly, 8.5 out of 10. Maybe a 9 out of 10. It's definitely still missing some little things that I would have tweaked out, but like overall, it's still pretty good. Now with the price though, this gives it down to like a 6. I'm kidding. Maybe not that low. I'd say about a 7. From a 9 if it was at like 30-ish. But since it's not at 30, and they have to overprice LEGO Star Wars sets and just LEGO sets in general sometimes, I would say probably 7 out of 10, especially for the price. The build experience though, building it, I still built this on like 30 minutes. Probably about 30 minutes actually. Enjoying the build, not just speeding through it. So yeah, I'd say it's a very enjoyable build. The actual process was nice and everything. The figures are really good. They're not like super duper duper amazing, but like they're pretty good for what it is. Overall, I mean, it doesn't really need a lot of play features. It's a cool looking ship. It works for its intended use. You got some cool figures out of it. So I definitely would recommend this set. Just don't buy it for $45. Please do not do that. Wait for it to go on at least on a little bit of a sale like I did. I got mine for about $35 off of Walmart. So I guess I can't really complain there. 35 is okay. But yes, this set is definitely a good set. Can't wait to put on the shelf somewhere if I find room. But even as a play set, this is good. If you got some kids who like Ahsoka, Anakin, all that fun jazz, like the Clone Wars, this is a good set. And the details are great too. So it's going to look good on shelves. So keep that in mind. Alright, send this review. Starlight Bricks, signing off.